A lot of people think that you need $1 million or more to retire, but the truth might actually surprise you. Most retired households in the US are living on a lot less than many people expect, and many are doing just fine. So in this video, we're going to break down what retirement actually costs, where the money goes, and how much you really need to save to get there. And spoiler alert, it's probably more achievable than you think. Let's start with the numbers. According to the latest 2025 data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average retired household in the US spends about $4,345 per month, or around $52,000 a year. Keep in mind this is a household number, not individual. Most retired households include two people, usually a married couple. So that $4,345 is not just one person's cost of living. Now let's take a look at where the money actually goes, starting with housing, which averages about $1,600 per month. Housing is still the biggest expense even in retirement. This includes rent, mortgage payments, property taxes, and maintenance. Many assume that once the mortgage is paid off, housing costs disappear, but that's not true. You still need to cover insurance, taxes, maintenance, and general upkeep. Downsizing or moving to a retirement community can even increase costs if there are additional HOA fees or extra services being provided. Next is transportation, at about $670 a month. Remember that retirees still spend money on gas, insurance, maintenance, and sometimes even car loan payments. However, many retired couples are able to get by with just one car, and they tend to drive less overall, which definitely helps to reduce costs. Healthcare. This averages about $600 a month. This includes insurance premiums, prescriptions, out-of-pocket costs, and anything Medicare doesn't cover. Healthcare is a major expense, and it usually continues to grow as people get older. Food, averaging about $600 a month. About $400 is spent on groceries and $200 on dining out. This stays fairly steady since everyone has to eat, retired or not. Some retirees cook more at home, others go out more often, but overall food spending doesn't drop as much when you move into retirement. And other expenses. Smaller categories include entertainment, clothing, gifts, and personal care, and these can vary depending a lot on your lifestyle. The location also matters. Someone living in a big city will likely have to spend more than someone in a rural area. But even in the most affordable areas, retirement still comes with real costs, so that's why planning ahead before you retire is so important. The role of Social Security. Social Security does help a lot. The average monthly Social Security check is around $2,000 per person. So for a retired couple, that's about $4,000 per month, which is just under the average household spending. That means Social Security alone can cover a lot of a retired couple's expenses. To make up the difference, which is around $4,000 a year, you'll need about $100,000 in savings, assuming that you're following the 4% rule. That's the rule that says you can safely withdraw 4% of your retirement savings each year. If you don't want to count on Social Security, or you plan to retire early, then you need to have more in savings. To generate $52,000 a year using the 4% rule, you need around $1.3 million saved. That could give you the full amount without depending on Social Security or any other income sources. If you're single and retired, then the math changes. Let's say you get $24,000 a year from Social Security. To reach the $52,000 average spending level, you need to cover the remaining $28,000 in savings. Using the 4% rule, that means that you'd need around $700,000 in retirement savings. But don't forget, a single person probably won't be spending as much as a couple. Housing, food, utility, and even transportation costs can be lower. Now, we haven't included any taxes in these numbers because, of course, they vary a lot. Your tax bill depends on where your money is coming from, like whether it's from a traditional IRA, a Roth account, or a regular brokerage account. That said, many retirees pay less in taxes than they did during their working years, especially if most of their income is coming from Social Security or tax-advantaged accounts. And remember, the household retirement amount of $52,000 is just the average. Some people are able to live on much less and are perfectly happy. Others will spend far more, especially if they travel a lot or enjoy expensive hobbies. In reality, many people live only on Social Security, and it's not always easy, but it is possible, especially for those who live simply, avoid debt, and are able to keep their costs low. Also remember, averages can be skewed by big spenders. A few wealthy households spending $100,000 or more in retirement can skew the average up. A median number would be a better way to show what typical retirees spend, but unfortunately, the Bureau of Labor Statistics doesn't show median scores for retired households. Retirement costs versus working life costs. For comparison, the average U.S. household across all age groups spends about $77,000 per year. That's about 32% more than the average retired household. But why do the costs drop? Well, it makes sense because retirees no longer have to pay for things like commuting, work clothes, or their kids' expenses. Many choose to downsize their homes, move to more affordable areas, or just choose to spend less. But their income also drops. You're not getting a paycheck anymore. Instead, you're relying on a fixed source like savings, pensions, or Social Security. So how much do you really need in retirement? Ultimately, it depends on your situation. If you're okay living off 2 Social Security checks and a modest savings account, you could probably get away with between $100,000 to $500,000 in total savings. If you plan to retire early, spend more, or skip Social Security, then you're going to need more, maybe $1 million or more depending on your retirement goals. The bottom line, most people tend to overestimate how much it takes to retire comfortably. With the right plan and realistic expectations, retirement might actually be closer than you think. If you enjoyed today's video, then feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to learn about 5 things to buy before you retire, then check out this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.